After spending more than 2 decades in HR, one thing I have realized is most people see the outcomes and very few people see what happens behind the scenes. Employees see resignations, managers see vacancies, leadership sees numbers, but HR often sees the entire story. Today I want to share real workplace situations where HR professionals experience regularly these things. Some of these stories may sound familiar, some may make you uncomfortable, and some may completely change how you look at HR. Situation 1. HR is being blamed for attrition. A leadership team called the HR head and asked why the attrition is increasing. What is HR doing about it? The HR team analyzed the data. Exit interviews revealed that managers' issues, career growth concerns, role clarity problems, workload concerns. But somehow the discussion continued as if attrition was purely an HR problem. And this is why many organizations make a mistake. HR can identify the problem. HR can highlight the risk. HR can recommend solutions. But HR alone cannot change the managerial behavior. Sometimes HR owns the process but not the root cause. Now let's move to another common situation, a problem every recruitment team has faced. Situation 2. When HR was asked to hire faster, the CEO asked, why are positions taking so long to close? The recruitment team investigated. Candidates were available, profiles were being shared, interviews were happening, but the real problem was hiring managers were taking 2 to 3 weeks to provide interview feedback. Requirements were changing midway. Decision making was slow. Yet the recruitment was being blamed. Many hiring problems are not sourcing problems. They are decision making problems. And talking about decision making reminds me of another situation. Situation 3, where HR created policies, nobody followed them. An HR head spent weeks developing policies, attendance policy, travel policy, leave policy, PMS process, and everything was approved, communicated, uploaded, shared across the company. And 6 months later, very few people were actually following the policies. Why? Because managers themselves were ignoring them. Employees do not follow policies because they exist. Employees follow policies when leaders follow them. Culture follows the behavior, not documents. And let's move from policies to the engagement. The another topic where HR is often expected to perform miracles. And this is situation number 4. When HR was asked to improve employee engagement, management told HR, employee engagement scores are low. Please improve engagement. The HR team organized activities, celebrations, recognition programs, town halls, fun Fridays. Yet engagement scores barely moved. Why? because employees were not asking for more events, they were asking for better communication, clear expectations, stronger managers, career growth discussions. Engagement is not an event, it is an everyday experience, and when engagement issues remain unresolved, something else happens. Situation 5, where HR was asked only after the resignation. An employee resigned. Suddenly everyone asked, why didn't HR stop this? The reality was, the warning signs existed for months. Manager issues were visible. Career discussions had happened. Workload concerns had been highlighted, but nobody acted. Then, after the resignation, everyone expected HR to resolve. HR is most effective before the crisis, not after the damage is done. Which brings us to one of the most frustrating situations for HR leaders. Situation number 6. HR reported the risk, but nobody acted. An HR had presented the data to leadership. Attrition was increasing, employee complaints were also increasing, engagement scores were falling. The data was discussed, acknowledged, and then ignored. 6 months later, the department lost several key employees. Suddenly, everyone became concerned. Ignoring people data does not eliminate people problems. Many employees think the toughest part of HR is hiring. Others think it is employee grievances. Some think it is compliance. In my experience, the toughest job is something else. That is telling leadership an uncomfortable truth. Telling them manager is damaging culture, a process is not working, a policy is being ignored, an important employee is at risk. Not every leader likes hearing such messages, but strong HR is not about avoiding difficult conversations. Strong HR is about having them. Great HR does not tell leadership what it wants to hear, while great HR tells leadership what it needs to hear. The next time you think about HR, remember this: HR is not perfect. HR cannot solve every problem. HR does not control every decision. But the best HR professionals do something incredibly valuable. They connect people realities with business realities. And in today's workplace, that has never been more important. Thank you.